All right, right now I'm having extraordinary pain. As a matter of fact, I just was on the phone with one of my doctors, and they prescribed some muscle relaxers, taking a double dose of Aleve every 12 hours, and I need to get a heating pad and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. So at this time, it's not the greatest location. Certainly not where I would prefer to be. And don't be surprised if all of a sudden I start screaming on here, because what happens is I'm having what they call a spasm. And believe me, when it happens, it paralyzes you and even makes you stop breathing almost. Well, it may not actually make you stop breathing, but you're in effect paralyzed for a few seconds. And it hurts extraordinarily. It's extraordinarily painful. Probably about a 10.5 out of a 10. In other words, even higher. My cat Samantha may be talking in a minute. She came in to visit with me. That's my little baby. One of my babies. At any rate, I got on here in extreme pain to let you know something. I have been calling Donald Trump a dictator and a dictator demon. And I will not call him the P word. For a lot of reasons we won't get into right now. I'll be glad to talk to you and argue with you, or talk with you and hopefully get you to see the reason why so many people call him a dictator. And actually, the reason why we do, most of us, ironically, want to protect ourselves, but also we want to protect you. Now, that's another video. And believe me, we'll get into it. But if you want to talk to me, you want to give me your opinion, 412-559-2731. Imagine that. Trump supporters, Trump voters, a so-called liberal giving you his phone number? Yeah. 412-559-2731. Don't bother blocking or making your stuff private. Oh, one other thing. I was in law enforcement back in the day. So I think we know I'm not in the mood and will not tolerate threats, harassment, or anything. Now, don't see that as a personal challenge, because I don't want to argue with you or fight with you. But I'm not playing the game. And believe me, I've already gone to the federal authorities and had somebody dealt with, let's just say, extreme law enforcement back in the day. You know, FBI and that fun stuff. So in other words, I'm not to be played with. This is one liberal that makes a conservative look like a baby at times, if you catch worms swimming. I'm not saying I'm all that in a bag of chips. But like I always say, I'm a humanitarian. But I'm also Sicilian. What does that mean? It means nobody messes with my family. Legally and peacefully and ethically. But nobody messes with my family. Capiche? That said, about the dictator demon. You know, I'm not giving him the respect. I'm not giving the office the respect. We don't give respect to evil. We don't give respect to dictators. We never did before. We always fought against them. But now somehow it's okay. Well, it's not okay. And yes, he is a dictator-esque man. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's just the liberal media, or Mr. Lion Trump likes to call it fake news. Well, guess what? You cannot love a network like Fox, and when they're speaking what you want to hear, they're great, they're lovable, they're sweethearts. But the minute they tell the truth, about something, the Trump supporters, or for that matter, anybody that likes a certain person, either on the left or right, if the organization you've always liked and consider reliable and honest starts telling you things you don't want to hear, it doesn't mean they're wrong. It means they're right. What's all that in a bag of chips mean? Even Fox News came out in support of CNN, their ultra enemies or competitors, or totally on the other side of the political spectrum, and defended CNN reporters. And after Trump's first news conference, Fox, we're talking Fox now, the Republicans' own network really, came out and called Donald Trump a liar. A liar. They didn't mince words. They called him a liar. So let me tell you something, Trump supporters and Trump voters. You voted for something that we have never done in America. You voted for a dictator. Now, you might be thinking, but Trump's a businessman. Trump's not a dictator and all that. Listen. Trump is a narcissist, a megalomaniac. He is an ego maniac, or whatever words you want to use. Trump thinks he's God. And Trump thinks that because he's the president, in his own mind, and maybe in some of yours, but he's not the president. He never was. He may have the office title. He may be in the office and be able to do certain things and act as the president. And so for all intents and purposes, he is the president. But in reality, he cannot be the president because he does not follow the Constitution. Not really. And he doesn't care about you, Trump voters. And he doesn't care about you, Trump supporters. He doesn't care if you're dead. But, just so that you know, these are serious problems. When you have Fox News saying that Trump is a liar, when you have every organization from the spectrum saying, thank you, Montez Moss. Thank you, Montez. Every news organization from every type of political spectrum, left and right, when you have Fox and CNN on the same page and saying the same thing, that's when you, Trump supporters, should be scared to death. Trump voters. Now, those of you who are, let's call them what they are, afraid, racist, genderist, or filled with some kind of hate, you don't like women, or you don't like women in certain jobs, or you're racist, or you don't like Muslims, or any of those things. And I hate to say this, but the white power and racist of America and other racists of all other pigmentations, they're in love with Trump. But let me say this to you. If you believe in God and you're racist, you can be a minister, an imam, I don't care what you are, a rabbi or whatever you are. If you are a racist or hate anybody based on anything other than the way they physically treat you, then you don't love God. You could be the Reverend Billy Jackson. I'm making one up. But I don't care if you have preached and been with presidents and kings and queens around the globe. If you are a racist, a genderist, or any other that's sexist, you do not follow the teachings of God, of most gods. And therefore, you are not a person of God, even if you own the largest church on the planet. You're not. And I can say that because a person of God loves. A person of God does not elect a dictator to one of the best nations on the face of the earth. Yeah, we have problems. First thing we did when we came to America, we killed off Native Americans. Second thing we did was we brought a whole pigmentation of people and enslaved them. Then we allowed Asians and Chinese to come to America. What do? We basically enslaved them. Then in World War II, what do we do with good Japanese, Italian, and German Americans? We interned them. But even today, in 2017 or 2017, this country is messed up in a lot of ways. If you ain't white, it ain't right. Look, I'm Italian. They ain't in love with me either. They like to say Italians are the N-word turned inside out, for those of you who didn't know. But take a good look at this Italian boy, this Sicilian man. Let me tell you right now, even though you're filled with hate and hatred, you may be the biggest a-hole on the planet. I still got some of this love for you. But that doesn't stop me from whooping your ass when I have to. Excuse the language, but sometimes a man got to do what a man got to do. I'll whoop your ass you ever try to attack me. You come into my house, you'll get in because I'll let you in. Your ass will get in, but you won't get out. Oh yeah, I just went deep. Maybe it's because I'm in extreme pain right now. Or maybe I'm so disgusted with everyone who voted for Trump. I love you in a larger sense. But to say that you made the worst choice in your life would be an understatement. You messed up so badly. Your kids may die because of your actions. You may die because of your actions. We all may die because of your actions. So am I supposed to give you a pass? Pretty it up for you? Let you right wing or left wing psychopaths destroy my nation and all that I believe in? All that my family believes in? All my friends like Montez believes? I don't think so. This hombre gonna whoop your butt legally and peacefully. Oh, and I'm just a little sissy liberal, right? I couldn't possibly believe in the Second Amendment. I want to get rid of your guns. Yeah, okay. You believe any of that stuff, and you are on cocaine, heroin, crack, alcohol, marijuana to the 18th degree. You see, here's the deal. Yeah, I believe in liberalistic, or even to some of you right-wing weirdos. Sorry, I love you, but you're crazy. You want to call me a communist or a socialist? Go ahead. If compassion makes me that, then I guess that's what I am, brothers and sisters. I also believe in the Second Amendment. Yes, I've owned weapons. You ever hear of a 9mm? Yeah, I owned one. You ever hear of a 30-30? I owned one. You ever hear of a 357? I shot one. You ever hear of a double-barrel shotgun? Yeah. So I guess I'm not your average liberal now, am I? You want to hear something really extreme? If I had my way, everybody in America that was mentally fit and legally trained would be carrying a firearm just like the Old West, which is extreme, and yeah, it probably would cause even more, temporarily, even more deaths by guns. But let me tell you what I believe would happen. I think it would ultimately reduce crime. Because if brothers and sisters knew you had a firearm and they could see it, they'd think twice before trying some stuff. Because you might be faster than them on the draw. What? A liberal that believes in guns? Yeah, brothers and sisters, a liberal that believes in guns. I used to carry one legally. Oh, you didn't know this liberal, did you? See, you all think you know me. And I love you. But sometimes, when you took me off, Eddie Murphy couldn't get me to stand down. The most foul-mouthed comedian in the history of the planet doesn't have anything on me if I choose to go down that path. You know why I don't? Because I love people, even people who may get us all killed. I'm not thrilled with you, but ultimately I love you. But that said, if Trump causes a nuclear war and we all die, I'm glad I'm not a Trump supporter. I am glad I am not a Trump voter. I am glad I'm not a Jill Stein voter. I'm glad I'm not a Bernie Sanders or anybody else other than Hillary Clinton. And I'll tell you why. Is Hillary without sin? Oh, please. No. Was she the best thing since sliced bread? Oh, come on. No. She would have been a great president, yes. But did she have issues? Did she do things wrong? You better believe it. Let me ask you a question. What haven't you done? You're not innocent. How'd you get your wife? How'd you get your husband? How did you earn your money? Somewhere in your life, you screwed somebody over. And you know it. None of us are guiltless. So we want to condemn Hillary Clinton? Come on. And then people say, well, she got people killed and all that. Get over it. I don't like to see anybody get killed either. And yeah, it hurts me too. Did she mess up? Yes. But guess who else messed up? And guess who got rid of over 3 million emails illegally and legally got away with it because he just happened to be a Republican? Take one guess. Try George W. Bush. Oh, y'all try to conveniently forget that and rewrite history. Well, guess what? Brothers and sisters, Torcaso don't rewrite history. If you screw up, I remember that. Now, here's the deal. Why is this Facebook thing going on? Let me throw down for you. Yeah, I'm in extreme pain right now. I'm in pain right now so badly that in about a little bit, I have to attempt to drive my car to get me some prescription stuff as I am in some for real pain. But I am never going to be in enough pain not to tell the truth. I can barely physically move, actually, but I'm still going to cook that turkey when it needs to be. So what is getting me so fired up today? You want to know? You're going to know whether you want to or not. It's very simple. My phone gets me news from Yahoo. Now, first of all, Fox called Trump a liar. Okay, I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. And it's somewhere on my Facebook page. Yes, on my Facebook wall. But I happen to be looking at my phone, and it says Trump's words about the media. There's a report right now. I believe if you go to the Yahoo main page, you may be able to find it. And if I believe I shared it, so look on my Facebook wall. But it says Trump's words echo that of the dictators in history. Is essentially what it says. You know, Mussolini, Hitler, those guys. Now let me tell you what you voted for, Trump voters and supporters, and people who stayed home and didn't vote at all. What you didn't vote for, you actually ended up voting by not voting for Trump. So all of you are guilty. Anyone who didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, look, that may have been your right, but you effectively voted for a dictator for the first time in America. And I'll say this about George W. Bush. He was bad for our economy. And in a lot of ways, he's done a lot of bad. But George Bush is a saint compared to Donald Trump. There's never been a president in the history of America that is worse than Donald Trump. That's a fact, Donald Trump lovers, supporters, and voters. So let me explain something to you. Let me make this abundantly clear to you. Every American and everybody on earth, all 7 billion plus, including Trump himself, should be scared to death that he's in that office. And I'll tell you why. Yes, he can start a nuclear war and kill everybody on earth. Yes, he can. He does not have to retaliate. It does not have to be the other country or countries attacking us. He literally, legally can start a nuclear war. Now, you might say, no, they can refuse. Yeah, but go to Google right now. For those of you who are acting like you have no brains in your head, go ahead. You want to question me? You're going to lose. That's a fact. You will lose because guess what? I am in the military of God. No, I'm not saying that I get messages from God or some weird stuff like that. But I'm on the side of justice and love and what is right. And I believe in Jesus Christ. You got a problem with that? Deal with it. I love everybody, but I believe what I believe. Let me throw down something. I thought, well, maybe they're right. Maybe the yahoos are right. Sorry, but that's what I called you. Yahoos is another word for a-hole for me. But, not for me, but that's what I use Yahoo. If I say you're a Yahoo, I'm calling you an a-hole. Just so that you know. Look, here's the deal. I thought, well, maybe this bonehead that told me this way back in September, maybe he's right that they can refuse the order. And I knew that they could to an extent. But here's a little something that y'all didn't know. There are usually 5 separate teams of 2 men, a man and a woman or whatever, however they set it up. There are usually 5 teams for each nuclear warhead. 5 teams of 2. So even if 3 teams or even 4 teams refuse to take the order from Trump or any president, if one fires that weapon, we all die. So yes, he can cause a nuclear war. So if you believed that they can all refuse the order, yeah, in theory, all 5 teams could say, are you crazy? We don't want to die. They could. But you're forgetting other variables. There's nothing to say that the commanding officer can't decide to kill them and do it himself or threaten to court-martial or whatever else. So the bottom line is, if Trump were to order a nuclear warhead and a nuclear war, we're toast. And that, sir, that ma'am, is what every non-voter caused to happen. You don't get a pass just because you didn't vote for Trump. Every non-Hillary Clinton voter in America caused this reality. I'm not giving you a way out. You messed up. I kept that clean. I wanted to use a different letter. You messed up. And now every life on earth could die as a result. You want to call me extreme, radical, future employers don't want to hire me for my TV show because I'm just too controversial. You think that bothers me? Please, I've lived my life fighting for what is right. And I believe in Martin Luther King. You got a problem with that? Well, let me throw down for you. When there is justice, when there is injustice anywhere, there's injustice everywhere. And the reality is this. That man is worse than Hitler. And I know what you're going to say. Well, Hitler killed 100 million people. He's not worse because he didn't kill anybody yet. Well, he did cause one person to die already in one of these battles. But that's horrendous. Any time a life is lost. Gang members killing each other. That's horrendous. And I want it to stop. Any gang members out there, I love you. Quit killing each other. And quit killing each other over stupid drugs or money. I understand you need money. But guess what? You got heroes that can help you to earn money from your house and in a safe, legal way. You got heroes in America. You got people like Montez, people like Jack and Ivan and me. We don't want you dying in the streets over some stupid drugs. And excuse me, I'm going to call it as I see them. I'm tired of the way minorities are treated in America. Yeah, you heard me say it, people. From an Italian man that you thought was white. You know, I walk into the Walmarts. I walk into the fast food restaurants. I see the teenagers working these jobs. And I see who gets the crappiest jobs. And I don't like it. It's going to change. Because I'm going to see to it that it does, one human at a time. Why do you think I'm in the businesses that I'm in? And if I have to make 1,000 calls a day, I'm going to have to start manning up and doing it. And I got a great mentor that happens to be on here right now, or was for a minute. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm tired of the way, and let me get real honest. I'm tired of the way black Americans are being wiped out in every single way. And I'm tired of these quote unquote justifiable killings. It needs to stop, America. And if it doesn't, I'm going to keep talking until people do something about it. Because I ain't playing with no mofos anymore. Now, this thing about Mr. Hitler, Trumpy, he is worse because even though he hasn't done any mass murders yet or caused a war yet, he gets one time, he freaks out and causes a nuclear war, and he will kill over 7 billion, including himself, 7 billion people, more than 7 billion people. Hitler and his actions caused about 100 million. He's the worst mofo in history. But Trump may actually become number one. He can kill every animal, every human, every insect, every plant on this earth. And when Fox News calls him a liar, when other Republicans are finally starting to man up and woman up, and calling him dangerous, you know something is inherently wrong. So what are we going to do about this, America? Trump supporters, Trump voters, you need to turn away from that demon. You need to join the right side, not the white side, not the Asian side, or any other side that's on his side, because he is evil. Now, let's say that he's not really evil for a minute. Maybe he's mentally ill. I think he is. Maybe he's being influenced. Maybe he's being, who knows? But his actions are evil and incredibly dangerous. So let's sum up for a minute because I'm getting ready to get my medicine. Let's do this. We have CNN essentially calling him out. We have Fox defending CNN. Republicans starting to come out and say, look, Trump is wrong. And Fox News called him a liar. And then you go on Yahoo and they say his words about the media echoes that of Hitler and other dictators. So anyone who did not vote for Hillary Clinton, you may have voted for the end of all life on earth. Now, I'm hoping this guy ain't that crazy. But right now, when he's saying fake news, and he's lying so bad that Fox felt they had to come out and say he's lying, I'd be pretty scared, people around the globe, and people that have extreme mental illness, that are usually very, paranoid. Here's what I'm going to say to everybody. If you don't believe in God, start praying. Because this is the bright side. Even if Trump kills everybody on earth, the beautiful part of it is there is an afterlife. There is a better place. There is a paradise. There is a heaven. I'm not going to say it's what most people think it is, but there is a God. And God is great. And yes, you will be able to get there if you believe and act accordingly. But every racist on earth, every sexist or whatever you are, genderist, whatever you are, I suggest you change. And for every Trump supporter that's going to leave me some ignorant stuff on my Facebook, you have every right under the United States Constitution that Trump hasn't destroyed yet, and hopefully the Republicans won't let him. You have a right to your own opinion. But if you try to mess with my wall on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever, and I see it, it will be removed. Not because I don't like dissenting opinion. If you're not name calling, but you're sticking to what you believe to be the facts, and you're willing to see that you're not right, or I can prove with evidence, and you say, well, you know what, I was wrong. That's one thing. But if you think you're going to attack me in any shape or form, brother, be put on notice. I'm still a humanitarian. I still love everybody on earth, including Trump, to this degree. But his actions are going to stop. Legally, peacefully, ethically, and financially, we're going to defeat him. But you? Let's just say that I'm going to continue to love people. I still want you in my businesses. I'm still going to help you. But no longer will I deal with your abuse. Because the Sicilian is back in town. What does that really mean? What it simply means is a lot of Sicilian Americans, not everybody, I'm not going to stigmatize and stereotype my own, ancestry. In fact, maybe it has nothing to do with being a Sicilian. But I will not tolerate abuse. And if you don't think I'm a tough guy, I'm not talking about I can knock you out. We won't comment on that, whether I can or not. I do my things legally, peacefully, and ethically, and financially. But am I a tough guy? Well, I guess you can ask yourself this question. People have challenged me, and I've been to court 17 times. For, let's just say, corporate, criminal, and civil cases. Criminal because I actually helped save some people's lives from going to prison and other stuff. Let's just leave it as, am I a tough guy? Well, let's see. I've been to court 17 times. And I've never lost a case. I'll leave it at that. Never. As a matter of fact, since you're probably wondering, this guy's so full of crap, I had a case. Let me just share this with you. A so-called internet provider back in the early 90s. It was called, I believe it's called CityNet. I had, wanted them as my ISP or internet service provider. Well, at any rate, they screwed up my computer and literally destroyed it because I don't know what they put on there. the software they gave me was defective. Whatever it was, it destroyed my machine. So I went to court, and they had hired an attorney. And we go into the court. And I don't even know why this attorney took the case, but that's beside the point. And they were trying to say that an internet browser, like Mozilla, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, and all these other ones, right? They were trying to say an internet browser was actually a word processor. Now, I don't know how many of you are techies or not, but that would be like saying that a car is a boat. And it's not. So their lawyer presented his presentation. I don't know what they were paying him, but he did his thing. And then I did my thing. The preponderance of the evidence. I won. It wasn't the first time either that I had gone up against attorneys and won. So what does all that in a bag of French fries or a package of French fries mean? It means I love you. It means I want you to thrive. That's why I want you in these home-based businesses. It means I really care about your life. It also means that I am one liberal and nobody wants to mess with. Now, I ain't trying to be all that in a bag of 25 bags of chips. But on my TV show, Humanity Matters Live, I've taken on multi-billion-dollar companies and said what I had to say. And I asked my governors to do things. I've asked the United States Congresses to do things. And I'm not going to say that it got done because of my mouth. But I will say, conveniently or curiously, it did get done. But the one before I go, you need to know who I mean. Highmark, I think it's called Blue Cross. No, it's Highmark now. It's in Pittsburgh, PA in the United States. There's Highmark, and then there's University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, also known as UPMC. They were in a fight to basically control healthcare in Pittsburgh. And so I got on my TV show, and I said, look, if you are quote-unquote nonprofits, because they both claim to be nonprofits, if you are nonprofits, but yet this big fight you're having is because your competitors, you cannot be both a nonprofit and a competitor, and if it comes down to your business end of it and the competition end of it, then you should lose your ability to be also called a nonprofit and not pay taxes. And so I had said some other things that we don't need to get into here, right there on Humanity Matters Live. And I asked the governor to step in. And I'm sure other legislators did. I'm not saying it was all because of me, because that would be as bad as Trump. I'm not a Trump. And actually, nothing that I do is because of me. It's because of the Lord thy God and Jesus Christ. I'm just a messenger. I can be a mofo at times, but yeah, I'm just a messenger. I'm not saying God asked me to do this either. I believe love. I believe in helping. I believe in what is right. And I believe that this is the thing that I need to do. This is my calling. My businesses will thrive, but they are not my calling. Actually, in a way, they are. Let me rephrase that. What I do, everything I do, whether it's the shows, this, and the businesses, it all melds together to make the cake, to put it that way. But with regards to UPMC and Highmark, they finally were forced by the legislator and the governor to come up with a compromise. But I did start the ball rolling. Me, Annette Mendel, and Chris Wise on Humanity Matters Live. Because I basically gave them an ultimatum. Either end your nonprofit status and become a quote-unquote business, or shut up and do the will of the people and help the people. Well, isn't it kind of funny that it came out almost exactly the way I wanted it? Now, with regards to Congress, in 2009 and actually in 2010, I literally told them to pass the Affordable Health Care Act. It wasn't called that back in the day. I called it the healthcare law, healthcare bill, whatever. They passed it. Oh, and a note to Trump on that and the Republicans. You may repeal and get rid of Obamacare. You may repeal or get rid of Medicare and Medicaid and everything that helps my fellow Americans and yours. You may. But I wouldn't be too in a hurry to do that if I were you. Because legally and peacefully, ethically and financially, we will make you give us something 100,000 times better than Obamacare. So if you mess with us, we will defeat you. And that goes for any party. Republican, Democrat, Schmemocrat. Look, we will legally, peacefully, ethically, and financially defeat you. And I'd be pretty scared, my fellow Americans that are against my beliefs or your right wing. I'd be real scared right about now. Because I'm in the process of making my national debut. I'm going to get my gig. And my scary mouth will be on NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, Fox, or in syndication. So you're going to have a lot to deal with and a lot more. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that think I can't do something really quickly, scroll down on my wall. You'll find that I can do stuff in seconds. I have a 26-second video. A few years ago for one of my businesses, I did a 9-second ad. As I said before, you may think you know me. You may have thousands of hours of what I've done, but you don't know me. Look, I love people, and I'm no Trump. I may be coming off arrogant right now, but that's because I'm pissed off. I don't like waking up daily knowing that Trump could end all life on earth. And I blame each and every one of you who voted for Trump and support Trump. And I blame every single one of you who did not vote, did not register. By the way, my own son is guilty of that crime. I love him, but he screwed up. So I would pray that this guy isn't that much of an idiot. Now, that said, I believe in God. So whatever happens, happens. But for you, if he doesn't, I wouldn't want to see you on the other side. Because I don't think God's going to like anybody. Well, he's going to love you. Actually, he will like and love you. Or God, of whichever way you believe in God. So you can still be forgiven. But that's God that will forgive you. Me? I think I'm going to have me a problem on the other side with you. We may have a problem. Hopefully, I'll be in heaven and I'll be like, man, you messed up, but it's all right. I still love you. Hopefully. But right now here on earth, I'm pissed at you. It was dumb. It was racist. It was selfish. And it's sickening. And one other note. I don't care if you call it racism, sexism, genderism, religiousism, or some other goofy name. If you hate people for any reason, you don't love God. So quit going to church, quit reading the Bible, or whatever book you read. Just stop and start reading satanic books. Start becoming a Satanist, because guess what? Your actions are more in line with evil and Satan. If there is a Satan. Some say there is, some say there aren't. I know that there's evil. But I want you to start dressing like an evil person, acting like one. Get out of church, synagogues, whatever. Because if you have hatred in you, even the entire churches that preach hate, you need to stop. See, I don't hate people. I may hate your actions. But one last note, because I got to go and get some kind of medical treatment. And of course, when you see me moving around, yes, that's because I'm getting spasms. Let me leave you with this. For all the hate that men and women do, I still got love for you in a spiritual way. But for anyone who didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, if you did not vote for Hillary Clinton, you actually made the greatest mistake of your life. If you live in America and you were of legal voting age and you did not go out and vote, and you did not vote for Hillary Clinton, you put America in her worst ever situation. And most of this that can go down will last for over 100 years. Because if he can get 2 Supreme Court nominees, we're going to have a problem for a lot of years. It could literally mean the end of civil rights in America. And if you're not white, and I don't want to scare my brothers and sisters of not being, of all pigmentations who are not white. But let's be honest, this is an extremely racist country at times. I fear for my son's life. I fear for the life of every Mexican and Muslim and Latina, I mean Asian. It's like if you ain't white, it ain't right. Well, let me tell you something, my fellow human beings and Americans. My pigmentation may look white to you. And I am Sicilian and another part of Italian. But we are all brothers and sisters, whether we are white, black, Asian, Middle Eastern, Indian. It doesn't matter. Y'all need to wake up. I love everybody, but I will not tolerate evil. And Donald Trump, his actions are evil. That is a fact. You don't have to like it. But if you're so drunk in the brain to actually still be a Trump supporter, I know you were a voter, but if you're still a Trump supporter, and I've seen these things on Facebook, you guys, to me, and women, you are Nazis. You are worse than Nazis because your actions can kill yourself, your family, everybody you might care about, and everybody on earth. And our military that's defending freedom with this guy in the White House, what are we defending? And you know what's even worse? Something you need to really consider, Trump supporters and Trump voters. What are you going to do if, and I don't think he will, I hope he ain't that crazy, but what if he decides at some point to totally get rid of freedom of speech? It's going to affect you just as much as it's going to affect me. You might want to remember that. What if he decides you can't travel from state to state without showing papers, like in Germany and during World War II, many other countries? What if you're not even allowed to go across state lines without showing papers? What if at some point he instills martial law? You see, you really screwed up. So, we can't change your horrendous mistakes. And anyone who didn't vote for Hillary or didn't vote, you're just as guilty. Look, I may love you, You may hate Donald Trump, but you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself why you screwed up. Any non-Hillary voters messed up. It's not because she was the best or without sin, as they would say, but she was the only way to protect this nation. I know a lot of people say, well, she's just as bad as Trump, or she was even worse. Or that. You can say what you want, but the truth is, her husband had America in great shape for the most part. Was he perfect? No. Now here's the thing. We can't change yesterday. We can't change 3 seconds ago. So I'm asking you to wake up, not support that man, and to join our battle plan to legally, peacefully, ethically, and financially defeat this man. We need to actually get Trump and Pence out of office. Legally, peacefully, ethically, and financially. We may have to have Paul Ryan be the president. We may have to have Mitch McConnell be the president. Or we may have to have a class action lawsuit demanding that they put Hillary Clinton in that office. Now, what would that mean? That would mean the first time in history we would actually be legally taking out a president out of office. And then an entire administration. I know what you're thinking. Well, how can we do that? What about all the cabinets? How do we protect our country? I got yourself a plan right here, right now. How we do that is he gets 90 days. Yeah, a transition, just like when we have an election or a so-called election. And at the end of that transition, he's gone and Hillary's in. He's gone and Ryan's in. He's gone. Mitch McConnell's in. You get the picture? But legally, it should be Hillary. She won the popular vote by almost 3 million votes. Now, you as an American, we can legally, peacefully, ethically, and most importantly, financially, demand that she's put in there. And we can use his own actions and his own statements against him. I don't hate Donald Trump. In fact, there are Donald Trump hating or hater groups on Facebook. You won't see me in there. I don't hate him. I hate his actions. I will not hate him. I will only hate his actions. I didn't hate Bush. Hated his actions. See, when we hate anybody, then we actually hate everybody. That's something else that Martin Luther King may have said. But think about what I just said. When we hate anybody, we hate everybody. What does that really mean? It means if we hate anybody, we actually deep down hate ourselves. There's something we don't like. So as I get ready, sorry about that. Yes, it hurts so bad. I could be saying the F word and I don't mean fun. As I get ready to hopefully get into my vehicle and get this medicine, I want you to go to Yahoo and see this for yourself. I want you to look how Fox is calling him Trump a liar. America, we can't change what happened. My fellow Trump, well, not my fellow, but Trump voters and Trump supporters. No, I'm not a Trump voter or supporter. People who voted for Trump or support him or those crazy, sick policies, you can't change what you've done. But you can see the light and change now. I'm asking you to get into this battle plan and legally, financially, peacefully, and ethically. Let's defeat this Trumpism that may ultimately be worse than Nazism. Or fascism, actually, is the word. Trumpism could end worse than fascism. Americans and people around the globe, let us all legally, ethically, peacefully, and financially find a way to not let this disaster keep going on. And that means the entire administration gets 90 days after they're impeached and demand that they get out. 90 days. I would also say that during those 90 days, we have to take the authorization of Trump and Pence to not be in charge of the nuclear codes. Why? Because he may decide to blow up the world just because he's pissed off he got kicked out. But we need to legally, peacefully, ethically, and financially get him out of there. Because if we don't, everyone on earth could die. Oh, and by the way, let's remember what I said. Fox News called him a liar. This business of fake news doesn't exist. So anybody that thinks there is fake news when it's coming to Trump, there may be some, but not what he's claiming to be fake news. The only thing that's fake is the fake fraud that he cares about you. He don't care about you, Trump supporters and voters. If he had his way, you'd be dead already. He wants to take away your Social Security. He wants to take away your Medicare. He wants to take away your Medicaid. He wants to take away your job and give it to another country that will get cheaper labor. He wants the end of you, actually. See, you voted for a person that doesn't even want you around. You don't like what I say? I guess that's too bad. I'm not going to pretty something that's ugly, and I'm going to tell the truth. Nothing but the truth. And so help me God. If you don't like it, there's a whole lot of things I don't like either, brother, sister, cousin, niece, nephew. But I'm going to tell the truth. And the truth is, you messed up. Now I got to do something about these spasms. I'm never backing down, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts. And you don't get a pass. Those of you who didn't vote for Hillary, look into the mirror. Look at one of your applications that looks like a mirror and cuss yourself out today. Call yourself the worst possible profane name you can. Because you effed up. My phone number is 412-559-2731. If you got the courage to unblock your number and not make it private, and you don't like what I have to say, give me a call now. My name is Albert Torcaso, Torcaso. And I will keep fighting for what is right. Because I love the Lord thy God. And I love Jesus the Christ. I love Jesus Christ. And I love everybody regardless of their faith or lack thereof. But not only do I love the Lord thy God and I love Jesus Christ, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are real. And so do you now, because I am real. Now in the meantime, yeah, I'm mad at you, but I still love you. And if you act right, I will forgive you. I'm just a regular guy. But we're doing wrong, and we need to start doing right. You got a problem with that? Don't talk to me about it. Talk to God about it. In the meantime, I want to thank Montez Moss, who happens to be one of America's heroes, who is using his blood, sweat, and tears to try to see you get a secondary income and change your life for the better. And I'm doing that too. And I will even bring in Trump supporters and voters and work with you. You see, because in a larger sense, the The reason why I'm mad at you is I want what is best for you. Not what you believe to be true, but what actually is. I love all of you. And whether I'm in 100% pain or only 70%, I'm going to keep fighting for you. I thank you, and I thank Montez. God bless you. Now I got to get me some medical attention. Amen to everybody. Amen.